These are my beater sneakers, and they're about to turn 33 years old this year. They're the Nike Driving Force, and they're a little too durable for a vintage shoe. I didn't realize how bad I treated these until I got spray paint all over the toe boxes at work. And then I realized that these are my junkyard shoes and also my hiking shoes. But enough is enough, and the abuse ends here. All of this is still fixable, even though the shoes are over 30 years old. You can see that I got overspray on the laces, and I tried saving them, but they were far too gone. I'm using acetone in a cotton ball to remove all the overspray, and it comes off real easy, especially on the vinyl swooshes. I pretty much acetone the entire shoe. Unfortunately, I wasn't paying attention, and I rubbed off a letter. It's not the end of the world. I can repaint it later. The tongues and the ankles are made out of vinyl, and the results look really good when you compare it. A lot of dirt and overspray got underneath the laces. So I'm gonna do the same thing here, and it's just as satisfying. Why did Nike stop using vinyl? It's so perfect, to a restoring aspect at least. Because these shoes were my beaters, they're getting a full deep clean. I'm scrubbing the inside of the shoe, and I'm using household products like Tide, dish detergent. Any shoe cleaner works. It doesn't affect these kind of vintage materials or this kind of shoe. I know this seems like a lot of work for some old shoes, but these shoes only released once, and they fit that perfect 80s high top aesthetic. After a thorough rinse, I'm going to dry the shoes. Most people dry their shoes just by leaving them out. I stuff mine with socks. This lets the shoe dry in less than 3 hours, and it prevents surface stains on the nylon parts in the sockliner. After some extra preparation, I'm going to be painting the shoes with Angelus leather paint. I made a slight gray and yellow mix so I can match the vintage aesthetic with the leather. Now the part that I'm painting is a synthetic leather. They really use some crappy materials. These were actually Nike's cheap shoes back in the day. With that being the case, I added multiple coats of paint. Now I'm going to unyellow the rubber soles. A lot of people would disagree with this action, but even though I love vintage shoes, I hate yellowing. It makes the shoes look so dirty. But I'm using my favorite CCK sole sauce, and I leave it in the sun for about an hour. These soles weren't too yellow, and I went to go check up on them, and they look just as white as the leather. The other side is untouched. This stuff is like magic. I hustled inside to go rinse off the shoes. I'm using dish detergent and a toothbrush. That's all you really need to get this stuff off. And a quick rinse. After all that, I'm looking, and I still need to do some touch-ups here and there. Just hitting some spots that I missed, and I got paint all over this plastic eyelet, so I'm removing it with acetone. You remember the G that I rubbed off? Why does it sound weird? Anyway, I'm just painting it back. It looks alright. Not bad for a really crappy paintbrush. Another spot that I missed, I'm using acetone on a Q-tip. I took the old laces out. I'm going to be replacing them with some newer ones, but they're super dirty. So I filled up a cup with bleach and dish soap, and they're getting a bleach bath. After the laces were rinsed and dried, I'm putting them on the shoes. They're a little too fluorescent for my taste. They slightly throw off the vintage look, but that's okay because they look super clean. Straight to feet they go, and who knew that a midlife crisis could hit a pair of shoes? You know, they're about that age anyways. All the spray paint is removed, and the shoes are pretty much back to former glory. They said new year, new me, and this time we're actually seeing results. And I'm going to show off a slight era-specific outfit. I don't understand proportions, and I have no drip, but at least I have some really cool shoes, and that's what you guys are here to watch me for, right?